Hey there, folks. I'm reporting here from, my name's Tom, reporting here from South Australia, an Australian deplorable, and live in the city of Adelaide, which is the state of South Australia, where our Premier, and for those of you living in the United States, that's the equivalent of the Governor of this state, has succumbed, as they all have. He's supposed to be a centre-right politician, supposed to respect the freedoms and liberties and inalienable rights of the citizenry. We've put him here. I myself voted for him. I'm ashamed now of the fact that I voted for him. And he's now just spun on a dime. You can go through, guys. And he's locked the state down. I run a small business that's been going 24 years. I service lots of other businesses in this state. And he's just shut everyone down for 6 days for a virus that has a survival rate of 99.9998%. In other words, 0.0002% have died from this virus, and we don't even know. I think they were over 75 and had comorbidities the way they usually do and everywhere else across the world. So he's gone ahead and he's mandated that this afternoon by midnight tonight, Central Standard Time here in Australia, that no school, no cafes can be open, no pubs can be open. Basically, almost nothing can be open apart from what they regard as an essential business. One person, I believe, one person a day can leave home and go get food from the supermarket. Now, as you can imagine, this government is so clever, so switched on, so in touch with the people that put them there, that the supermarkets got inundated and stripped within a couple of hours of this being said. Of course, I'm here with all my friends. I mean, God bless my mates that agree with me, but unfortunately no one's turned up. I'm here on my own. A little bit of abuse, that's okay. I'm peacefully protesting. Apparently if we use those words, we're okay. And why I just don't understand. Well, we understand why the people in charge can't look after the vulnerable and allow the rest of us to get on with our lives. If we're not well, stay home. All the normal things, all the commonsensical things that we should do, no. They've got to try and actually dictate what we do. They've got to crush our freedoms. They've got to crush our liberties. And isn't it funny, here in Australia, we revere our diggers. We revere the Anzacs. And for people overseas, if anyone gets this, these are the soldiers, like in all Western democracies, that helped and spilt blood for the freedoms that the West enjoys and the liberties that the West enjoys. And isn't it ironic that 75 years or so after that, after World War II, we have our own elected officials locking us down in a tyrannical, oppressive manner. And they don't care. They've traumatised the public that much. They've traumatised the public that much through the media complex that, like sheep, people look to government for the answer. Now, I'm in Australia. It used to be a free country, a beautiful place. Only 25 million in a mass the size of the United States or Europe, approximately. And where this virus came from, the CCP virus came from, our own Western governments are treating us like the CCP treat their own citizenry. Something's wrong, guys. Something's wrong. And me on my own, outside Steve Marshall's place here, okay, a guy I voted for but never will vote for again, he's done it. Him and his government, supposed conservatives, people, the name of the party is the Liberal Party, and here in Australia the Liberal Party doesn't mean what it means in the United States. The Liberal Party here is supposed to stand for liberty. It's supposed to stand for freedom. It's supposed to stand for inalienable rights, but it doesn't. It doesn't. When they can turn around and mandate with no voice of the people that things are to be shut and locked down, and you can only leave your house one person a day to go get supplies for an hour, how is that freedom? The diggers and Anzacs that fought for this, that spilt their blood for this, would be turning in their graves if they saw what the government has become in this country. And we are governed federally by a conservative government, supposed, and we are governed in this state by a conservative premier. What a load of BS. They have sold us out under the guise of protecting us. This premier here couldn't protect 4 little babies from dying due to the COVID. They couldn't get that. Number one, we've got a hospital, brand new hospital that's worth billions. They didn't have the facilities there to keep these 4 precious souls alive. And then we've got our CCP counterpart in Victoria, a left-wing Labor Fabian in the pocket of the CCP. He wouldn't allow the babies to be transported there. So we have 2 things. We have an inert government that's supposedly conservative that can't do their job. They're here to serve us. They're here to serve us. But instead they're telling us what to do. Tyranny is here. I never thought I'd be the one that would be ever picketing anywhere. Never. I don't subscribe to all these things, but I believe in free speech. I believe in free assembly. I believe in petitioning government. That's why people come to this country. My family escaped fascism in World War II and came to this country. Chinese come to this country escaping their oppressive regime. But no one stands with me. No one stands up, because like a frog in a hot bowl, it slowly gets turned up until eventually people wonder what happened. I know this is happening everywhere, and my heart goes out to everyone else that's going through the same thing. This is not being used for what they tell us it's being used for. It's not a conspiracy, but there are no coincidences. Why is a virus with a lethality rate as low as this one has, and let's face it, it's another strain of the flu, more contagious maybe, but obviously for the elderly, they're at risk. So let's look after the vulnerable. Let's not crush small business. Let's not crush our liberties and freedoms that many lives have been spilt for, and let's take our fucking states and countries back. This is absolutely unbelievable. In little old Adelaide, we're so far away from everywhere else in the world, no one even knows where we are. No one even knows where South Australia is. You wouldn't be able to point to it on a map. But this is what's happening here, and I can tell you one thing. If that's happening here, no one is safe. No one is safe, because they're telling us it's 6 days now, but I can assure you that 6 days could easily become a week, a month, and we know how the story unfolds. We know how the story unfolds. So I don't know who's going to see this. Probably not very many people. But hey, look, to my deplorables that are battling for their country in the US, I wish you well. I'm supportive of your president and the Trump and the MAGA movement, because the MAGA movement means to me that charity begins at home. We must look after ourselves. We must look after our communities. We must look after our states, our countries, and that makes us a stronger nation. Then we can help each other. Then we can be better citizens in the world. But I don't want to lose my country. I don't want to lose my freedoms. I don't want to lose my liberties. And it's happening before our eyes. And you can see how many people care about it. There ain't too many. Thanks, guys.